What's up, guys? I'm Rose, and I would love to have my own recycling service someday. So, I've been doing a lot of research about why recycling isn't more lucrative and what is and is not getting recycled. Last week, I talked a little bit about paper products and was pleased to find out that 70% of paper in the United States gets recycled. I didn't realize the number was that high. But unfortunately, it's not so high for glass. So, this week, I'm taking a look at glass and asking, why isn't more glass being recycled? So I've been doing a little bit of research about glass and why more glass isn't being recycled in the United States. And one thing that I learned that really surprised me was that glass is 100% recyclable, that it doesn't lose the quality or the purity, and it can be used for a variety of projects. So I visited the Glass Recycling Coalition website to kind of get some details. Most Americans are in favor of recycling glass, yet we're only recycling about 30% or so. And I thought, well, if it's 100% recyclable and it doesn't lose its purity or its quality, then why isn't more glass being recycled? And there's a couple of reasons why. I visited this blog from Blog Tablas Creek, and they explored some of the issues. One major issue is the transportation. You see, unlike plastic, and which actually isn't recycled, but that's for another video, and like paper products and cardboard, glass is heavier, which makes transportation more difficult, and it's also a lot more fragile. Like broken glass can pose a hazard, so this is an issue. So it's become problematic, and due to the transportation costs and the fact that it's fragile, has caused a lot of glass recycling plants to close, which is pretty discouraging. There's also a lot of misinformation regarding recycling services. Like, a lot of people will put glass in the recycling bin, not realizing that many places do not take it, and they have no place to put it. So I also did a little reading on how glass is recycled. I found the process to be very interesting, so I pulled up this website from C&N's Chemical and Engineering News. And it kind of goes into detail, offers the same reasons why more glass isn't being recycled. It's at a much lower rate than many European countries, for instance, even though it's 100% recyclable. But the process for recycling the glass, basically it gets broken down, sorted. Here you can see from this. Once it's collected, gets broken down into something called cullet, which is like very fine, almost sand-like particles, and then this can be melted down to make new bottles. So then the last thing that I wanted to explore was whether or not that sort of business could be lucrative. Because I would ultimately like to have my own recycling services where I'm taking in everything, and I would like to provide those services to my local community so that it's not being shipped out. Now, with several glass recycling facilities having closed, it doesn't feel like it's very lucrative, but based on what I read and how I looked into it, it's all a matter of whether or not you have a buyer ready to take the cullet, ready to turn it into new uses. So this website, Trash Cans Unlimited, kind of goes into a little bit of detail. The materials that glass is made of: limestone, sand, soda ash, and cullet. Cleaned glass, scrap glass that's ready for production. The various uses, like it's not just for bottles, it can be used for road base, drainage backfill, fiberglass, like what you find in insulation, construction materials. And then the profitability. So, for the reasons I had already listed about it, the fragility, the transportation, the profitability depends largely on whether or not there is a buyer ready for it. So I'm hoping in the future I can line up some buyers, and maybe because, you know, there's a lot of local brewers here in my hometown, there's a need for it, and I'm hoping maybe someday glass recycling will be more lucrative so that we have less going into the landfill and that it's not posing a hazard to wildlife. So, this is just a little bit of what I've learned, and if anyone has more information, please share because this is just what I've done, my independent research. I've also included some fun upcycling projects which I would like to try myself. Working with glass can be hazardous on account of it breaking, especially if you're trying to cut it or do various things. So, safety is always highly recommended when working with glass and when doing projects that involve any kind of cutting, but there are plenty of things that can be done with it. So, in the meantime, since I haven't been able to find a good recycling resource here in my hometown that takes the glass, I'm just going to focus on doing the upcycling projects. But if you know of anyone, if you've heard of anything, I would love to hear all of the details. So the question is, can glass recycling be lucrative or not? If you know of businesses that have made success doing it, then please tell me all about it. Well, that's all for now. We'll see what I can make out of the glass that I've been holding back. Join me for upcycling projects and I'll see you again soon.